Welcome to this video, Music Business Management 101, Lesson 4, Prepare for Tax Liabilities. Here's what no one tells you until it's too late. For every dollar you make in your music career, you have to pay taxes on them. That includes if you make money in other states or countries as well. And this can get messy real quick. Just have a look at this article from 2019 on Vulture. In this article, it essentially tells a brief history of artists not paying their taxes. For example, Shakira, now this was the Spanish government, not the U.S. government, but she owed more than $16 million in back taxes. Beanie Siegel, he owed over $728,000. While a lot of these have been paid back, not all of them were paid back in the same way. For example, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison after pleading guilty. He still had to pay back the taxes. Also, if you come down here further, people like Chuck Berry, he had to serve 4 months in prison. Ja Rule, he had to spend, 28 months? So yeah, that's over 2 years. A lot of these people are actually being sentenced to prison. Now, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but if you don't pay your taxes, not only do you have to repay the taxes, but you can also serve jail time, actual prison sentences. It's a federal crime not to pay your taxes. That includes not paying taxes on foreign income. So when you make money in other states, other countries, whatever, you still have to pay taxes to the U.S. government for those. Again, I am not a tax specialist and can't offer legal advice on taxes. I am just alerting you to some of the problems that can arise as a musician. So here's some common tax mistakes. Not reporting income from shows played in other states or country. That's a big one because they think that, the government's never going to find out. Not saving enough money to actually pay for the taxes at the end of the year. Because you're not getting a paycheck where your taxes are already taken out like you would at your job, you actually have to save a decent amount of percentage of whatever you make and put it into a bank account and don't touch it. So that way you can pay your taxes for the end of the year. So if you have to pay 23% of your taxes for the year, for example, as a business that's, obviously a band, you make $100,000, you have to at least save $23,000 in an account so that way you can actually pay the government. Now, my estimations are you should try to withhold 30% or more of your profits, not revenue, but profits for taxes. But this is just a number to use as a benchmark. It's not necessarily what you should do. You have to ask a tax professional about your specific needs. Here's another common mistake, not paying taxes each quarter. The first year you won't have to do this, but each year after that, you will have estimated tax payments each quarter. This helps you stay in line with how much you're expected to pay. If you don't pay these each quarter, you'll fall behind. And then guess what? At the end of the year, you're going to have a massive tax bill that you have to pay all at once. Another common tax mistake, not filing taxes at all. That is a huge one. The government's going to find out if you made income, and they're going to tax you on those. You just have to understand that as a musician, you have to save up and actually pay it. The penalties for tax evasion, like I just mentioned, are very serious, including lengthy prison sentences. I'm pretty sure you don't want to go to prison. As Ben Franklin said, there's only two things you can't avoid. That's death and taxes. You are not likely going to know what your tax liabilities are for a year. So how do you prepare for tax liabilities? First, find an accountant that understands musicians and their unique tax issues. Second, ask them about tax laws before playing shows out of state and out of country to help make sure you are properly prepared ahead of time. If in a band, ask how the filings work for each person. Ask them about how much money you should set aside for taxes. Each state and country will differ. Ask about any forms or filings you need to do to ensure you are prepared. And again, set your tax savings aside in a separate bank account, i.e. a savings account, and never use it for any other reason. So let's take some action. Get a separate savings account to put your tax withholdings into. Talk to an accountant about what tax liabilities you have, and then start putting money into your savings account for taxes. Also, make sure to have forms and filings done on time. And make sure to make tax payments on time, especially if you're doing quarterly estimated tax payments.